So let's get this Sunday race day underway with the Aussie racing cars. Bradley Jones from Team BOCs alongside Aaron Noonan in commentary.
Thanks, Matt. Final of the weekend for these guys. Paul Kamar will start from pole, and we mentioned yesterday, Brad, 47 cars. There are heaps of Aussie race cars. It is a record in the 10 years that this category has been running. We're going to have to keep an eye on some fast cars that are buried in the pack. Brendan Pingle's been quick. Peter Carr won race 1 yesterday. It's gone wrong since then, really, for him. He starts from position 19, and they just keep on coming through. We've had 3 races. We've had 3 different winners, and this is the decider.
And with that many cars in the race, you're going to get contact. And the great thing about these little cars is they can go 4 wide through 2 and 1. So when you get that sort of action, you're going to have accidents, and that's why we've got some of our fast guys buried mid-pack. Sam
Reid starting position 35, a bit of a last-minute fill-in this weekend. We've seen Sam in Formula Ford and Formula 3 in more recent years, and of course part of the Shannon Supercar Showdown in the chase for a co-drive at the Bathurst 1000. Rob Thompson, I don't envy the man. He starts 47th, and he's only got an 8-lap race. Paul Kamar's on pole, the former series champ. Adrian Cottrell, the young gun from South Australia, who he really does look like he's about 12, actually. He's a very young guy, but he's a very fast guy. And this will decide round 5 of the FW1 Aussie Racing Car Super Series. A big day of racing. Let's get going with it. Kamal to the left, Cottrell to the right. Kyle Clues, the reigning champ, on the second row with Tyler Owen. Away we go. And it's Kamal who has got the big jump as the Angry Ants head to turn 1.
Have a listen to them. They sound fantastic.
Cottrell trying to go with him. He should tuck in here. Turn 1, flat strap. We jump on board with Tyler Owen, who's been pacey this weekend. He won race 2 yesterday. Southern Loop, the first time.
They'll all be pretty ginger around here on cold tyres, and they're very short in the wheelbase compared to a normal car. So they're very, very twitching on cold tyres. It just makes it a little bit worse.
Kamal out of the toe, but he's on the wrong side for the right-hander. It's too wide. Who do you want to go with? That's the key.
Look at all that rubbish on the inside of the corner. The great thing about these cars is they can get through these corners too wide without too much effort.
On board, Maurice Bassini, the FW1 in-car camera. And he's right in the middle of the pack. Cottrell wide, Kamal to the inside. Tyler Owen and Sheridan Phillips are going with them. And you know what? This will go for 8 laps exactly like this.
Well, Kamal's going to be on the outside. Not a great place to be through here. Through the hay shed, that's a pretty fast part of the circuit. And so he's done well to hang on there and bob out in the lead. We've got Owen right on the back of him.
This is good stuff. Side by side, 2 rows of cars. You think they were starting to race side by side rather than actually racing. But the slipstream plays such a big part. They're very small cars, but because they obviously punch a hole in the air, if you can tuck in behind, there is an advantage to be gained.
Very true, and they have a very flat rear wing without a gurney flap on it, so it tends to drag the car in front along. And Tyler Owen looked blindingly fast when we first saw them get on the track, but yesterday struggled a little bit today, but looks like he's right back on the money. Very, very fast. I would have tuned that car up a bit. And have a look at the slipstream effect. They're going everywhere here.
Oh, turn 1, watch out, that was big. That could have been way worse. Trent Young somehow didn't take anyone with him, and all he's done is knock the front lip off the spoiler.
He'd be taking a few pretty deep breaths by now, I think.
I think he'd be just remembering to breathe after that one. That was wild stuff. We were right among it.
And unfortunately what it's done is it's split the group up a little bit, so hopefully these guys at the back can quickly close in around the back of the circuit and then benefit from the tow down the straight.
And the guy who's leading the chasing group is that blue and silver Toyota Orion, which is Peter Carr, who started way back, position 19. So those guys carving one another up has really helped him.
He just needs another moment for these blokes at the front, and he needs to be close enough to them that it drags him along. There's John Reynolds in the Carter-equipped car. And looks like it's not going anywhere. John's an Albury boy, actually.
I've heard of them.
That's Dave Reynolds' father.
Yeah, that's right. And the safety car has been brought out as a result. So Paul Kamar leads the way. We'll get that car moved. Get back to racing when we come back. Side by side is the way that we are going to restart the Aussie racing cars here at Phillip Island. Paul Kamal is the leader, but this is very NASCAR, IndyCar style, side by side. So although Kamal is the race leader, he doesn't have a massive advantage here, Brad Jones. They are rode up. Now they will get given the OK and the green flag.
And this is great news for Peter Carr, who's been able to close the gap. He'd just done the fastest 2 sectors of the race, and he's primed for a result. He's right in there with them now, so this should liven things up, as if it wasn't lively enough.
I've got to say, it was new this year to IndyCar racing, the double file restart. It has created all sorts of action. Is that something?
Whoa.
Could we have that in V8 supercars?
Absolutely. I see no reason why we wouldn't. It would certainly liven things up a bit. And, you know, certainly in V8 supercar land, we're always looking for things to make it a bit more interesting. And I reckon this is one that's really worth trying.
Have a look at this. I think Kyle Clues was pushing Adrian Cottrell through the left-hander.
And Cottrell will be working pretty hard. He wants to win here this weekend and certainly beat Tyler Owen. So he's leading the championship, and he'll be fighting pretty hard to keep that position, as will the other half a dozen that are dicing with him for the lead.
This is just a scrap. You really need to have your wits about you in here. But the thing is, even though the racing ground is so close and these guys are at it so much for a full race distance, whoa, Kyle Clues, where was he going? You very rarely get contact.
Not a lot of contact. They've got a fiberglass front on them, so too much contact and they're going to fly apart. Or not fly apart, but you'll damage them and be out of the race. So close racing, not too much contact. That's what we like to see. And a number of different lines. I think that's a secret to this racing. You can get into a corner from 2 or 3 different places, and that's why they're all so close.
Up over the top. There's been plenty of action so far. Not just in this race, but in this weekend of Aussie race cars. When you've got 4 races, there's plenty of time. This was earlier on in the weekend. Peter Carr on the right, Tyler Owen on the left, gets sent, and look at this. Bang! That was nasty. They fixed that car, and it is in 6th position in this race. There it is, actually. He's now 5th. Hard
to believe that they've repaired that car. It looks like a brand new one. If that happened and you took it to your panel shop, you wouldn't get the thing back from weeks, months, maybe.
What about BJO? Would they fix it up a bit faster?
Absolutely not faster, but they do it just as quick.